shit.
Every motherfucking time, baby. You know what time it is. It's time for the Adam Friedland Show. America's #1 talk radio show, soon to be live late night show. And when we said late night, that's just because there's no genre that can really define what we're going for here. 3 shows every day. Morning show, afternoon drive time show, late night show. The hardest working man in show business, the host with the most.
The host with the moist.
Oh, is it a typo?
I like that. No, I like it.
From moist to moist.
Yeah, the host with the moist.
Coast to coast, moist to moist. They call him the taint of entertainment.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Adam Friedland Show. Nick.
Wow.
Mordechai Ben David Netanyahu Mullen production.
You're coming in with the heat today.
Woo!
You're settling into the role. Ladies and gentlemen, this
Guys,
is kind
I'm
of
getting comfortable. You're seeing me become what I am to become. Nick had the vision, right? No one else believed in me. You're the only man who believed in me.
I believe in results.
Yep.
You know, but I can
right.
see results from a million miles away.
That's right. You know, you could have given me a fish, but you took me to the damn lake.
I'm in the desert with a stick. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, somewhere around here, there's gold in these hills.
That's right. Yeah.
There's gold. You know, is the stick for water or gold?
I don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
You know, there's a thing, old time guy. There used to be a job in the Wild West is you could just be a retard that walked around with a stick. You'd go to somebody's property, be like, "Yep, there's water somewhere around here."
A stick man.
Yeah,
and then the double entendre.
and the pay for that would be you get a slave. You get a slave girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll take one of the.
Well, I thought you become a stick man.
I'll take one of your little syrup bottle girls you got there. Take her back to my shack that I attached to the back of the train.
One of my little Jemimas.
Yeah. Niece Jemima.
Niece Jemima. I'm really excited about the show today. I think we got a great one for you.
We got a good one. We're coming in.
How you feeling about it?
I'm happy. Let me take a look at what we did. We did a lot of prep. We really wanted to spend time on the top. The last one we forgot that the show's supposed to have a topic.
Yeah. And
so this one we wanted to make sure that we stick to the doing a topic format. So we spent time on it. We picked a topic, and this is what maybe you guys can suggest, because I'm not sure. Do we do the top of the show? We introduce the topic, and then we go into the monologue. I think that's the way to do it.
I think it is.
Because the monologue is more like a fun.
But the introduction feels like a monologue, right?
I mean, sort of. There's not many jokes in there because there was guys. Hopefully, you're listening to this at patreon.com/Cumtown.
Right.
We'll get the URL figured out.
We'll figure it out.
For some reason, it wouldn't let me change any of the information on the Patreon.
We got to work with them.
So I gotta email somebody over there and figure out why I couldn't do that. But if you're listening on Patreon, you may have noticed there was an argument in the Patreon comments on the last one between a man that was complaining that we're not saying the N-word enough.
Is that right?
Yeah, and then another guy who was upset that guy wasn't getting abortions.
They made it about abortion?
Yeah,
Ugh.
but either way.
This country, Nick. This country.
That's the audience. But look, when you're in show business, the audience is king.
Yeah, it's true.
First the king is the host of the show.
We love
Second king,
our fans.
The two kings.
Uh-huh. Two kangs.
And me, I'm just like a rook or the horse.
No, that's not true, dude. You are the board.
The board itself.
You are the board.
A checkered pass.
Yeah.
A grid.
You're the game master.
The gay-related immunodeficiency. Anyways, but what I saw there's this huge fight. They're threatening to kill each other. One guy says
in the comments
on at patreon.com/Cumtown. If you want to
gotta check out these comments, guys. I haven't seen them yet, but
you're gonna have to sign
great.
up to see the comments themselves. But they had a very highbrow debate.
How long is the thread?
It's probably like 50 comments.
50 comments in the
they were going back
TAFS episode 4.
They were going back and forth. There's a very a disappointed man named Matt who works at the Subaru factory. Apparently,
he works for the damn Japanese.
I guess I don't know. Now I feel bad about saying that, but he posts.
Listen, it's public.
He
if
posted
you go,
that in there.
yeah.
I don't know. He was saying, I work at the Subaru factory. I'm a Nazi. There's nothing you can do about it. To the other guy, and the other guy was saying, well, I kill babies.
He's an abortionist.
He's an abortion. Yeah.
Wow.
The Abortionist, starring
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's
Pretty
two of
good.
them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's how we do the abortions.
Yeah.
Is one of us is a baby, but I'm a twin.
Yeah.
And the audience doesn't see that
I'll consider myself like
That's
an artist.
That's more like Michael Caine.
Yeah. No, but yeah. His art is the art of the abortion.
He's doing an abortion.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got an argument, and I guess I'm too in the weeds with this. No. My takeaway.
Go ahead.
Is that what they're both asking for in different ways? Is they want the show to be a little bit more serious. One man wants the show to be more right wing and kind of xenophobic, and just sort of out in the open say, "Hey, we need to do genocide.
We need to go to the border.
We need to make the world a whiter place for guys that build Subarus and their kids."
Yeah.
And another guy, he's saying, he's mad at me. He was like,
I don't understand how his response to a guy being racist is that you need to get abortions.
He's insistent on abortions, and then he's also upset at me.
What did you do?
Look, the audience is king.
It's true. But here's the thing,
and
Nick.
The kings are telling me.
I don't want to put the Kangs. I don't want to put maybe that's the name of the...
well, that's the guy. That's his racist podcast is Less Kangs, More King.
I don't want to biggin ourselves up, but the fact that we inspire...
No, biggin, please, biggin.
I'm going to biggin... let's biggin for a second. The fact that we inspired a healthy intellectual
couple of big
debate.
ends, bigging themselves.
See? And that the Subaru guy would like that.
Yeah, right.
He wants you to go farther than the but that's as far as we'll go.
As a businessman and self?
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally and self?
So we want to inspire that type of intellectual discourse in the comments and on the show. And if you think about like the old debates, like the William F. Buckley, James Baldwin, that is the format of the new Adam Friedland show.
Yeah,
I mean, that's basically what we're bringing to the table. And
that's what I was getting to. Is that both of these? Because the other guy, he's mad at me. He said, he's like, he said he's disappointed. Maybe I'll pull up the comment here.
That doesn't feel good.
What?
That can't feel good.
What?
That guy saying he's disappointed in you.
Every criticism of the show I take to heart, because this is
it hurts.
I put more effort into this than I do. I got 2 kids.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I think
you don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's pull this up. How disappointed this guy. He said he was disappointed in me. Because I have to either denounce this stuff or oh damn, there's a lot of comments. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the initial Nick has been a real lefty. I don't want to say this word for like 4 episodes in a row. I understand that they always are, but it's usually less annoying. Maybe I'm just in a bad mood. I want more racism. Is what I'm saying.
Okay,
and
that's a valid criticism.
Yeah,
And
then a man named him and David get into it for a while.
Oh, David.
Yeah,
kind of an Adam, maybe.
Yeah, they go back and forth for what looks like probably an entire shift at the Subaru factory. And I said, anyways, did you guys enjoy the new episode or no?
You got in there.
And David says to me, shut up, man. Honestly, it's pretty much a letdown. Without sounding gay, I would like some honesty. Not the dissolved remains of emotional barriers you use to hide your actual ideals to be an entertainer. I've known you for a fucking decade or whatever.
You know this guy?
I guess so. I turned a little racist, idiot, cool, in parentheses, cooler with you guys, and I want something more than a hangout sesh. Despite what these gay 8-year-olds say, you're not the bodhisattva. Give me something, man.
What's that?
I have no idea. I mean, this is... I have trouble parsing any of these words, but the crux of it, and this is the key takeaway, because I'm not arguing with this guy. He says, I want something more than a hangout sesh. And the other guy wants more racism. And exactly what you're saying is that the new show has got to be...
Well, here's the thing.
We got to, not necessarily racism, but we should be the ones, we should have some guy on. We should have a guy who works in a super factory on. Yeah. And he's like, you're just some New York Jew that doesn't know shit about... And then
it's about discourse.
And
it's
you
about
say
dialogue.
That's interesting. And then, but guess who we also have as a guest? Muhammad Ali. And he's sitting there.
That's pretty good.
He's like, the black man is, or maybe, I don't know, another Jewish guy or something. But they're all
Muhammad
wearing
Ali
suits.
was
The point
Jewish,
is that everybody's in a suit.
No, we have formal attire.
Yeah.
We have a dress code for the show.
So that makes it, it'll be...
People aren't talking to each other in this country right now.
Right.
And if we're inspiring that kind of a debate...
Right.
It's painful to see. It's painful to see how people are hurting.
And the big question is, who's doing that? Who in entertainment is actually asking any of these questions?
Right.
No one is. No one's doing that.
It's us, right?
Yeah.
We did, for 6 years, we put on this
charade.
A charade. A charade.
Charade small.
A charade small.
What if that came out? Charade small. It's just a character I do, and I'm just in blackface pretending to be charade small. Charade. No, I'm not black. It's a charade. That's the joke.
Charade.
It's a charade.
It's a charade. Listen, for 6 years, we did whatever that was.
Yeah.
And then we came out of it, and Nick and I looked at this country and looked at where we were at then and looked at where we're at now.
Yeah.
And we're doing this because this is kind of like what we feel like we have a social obligation to pivot in this direction.
Well, we're doing it. So the point is that we're doing it, and we're doing that by having show topics. And this is all to say, I think that the top of the show, we go right into the what would you like?
No, the beeps is the monologue. This is the show topic.
Let's see, royalty-free newsroom music.
We have some famous musicians who are also
here we go
making music for us.
Do we?
Nice
yeah, and that's not
it's
cap.
old-fashioned.
That is no cap.
Yeah, here we go. Here's some good this will be good to start off the.
All right, let's hear it.
Damn, some of these they're doing these weird ads now. They're like 50s style ads. Nobody. Okay. Adam Friedland Show, covering the news. It's more. It's a guy who wants to be more racist, and another guy who wants to get an abortion. We're gonna talk about both of them. The news is the most important thing in the entire world. Many have considered the news to be the modern world's Jesus Christ, and newscasters, the gods of Jesus.
It's true.
The gods who birthed Jesus themselves by creating the news. The news. We love you. Produced by me. This is a long song.
It's a good song, honestly.
Yeah. Have you watched that show? Have you ever watched that show?
The Newsroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun.
What do you think? What's like the next thing he's going to turn into, like just this gay dick sucking? I would love to see him do a show about rodeos.
Well, he can't do it. Yellowstone already did it.
That's not about rodeos, though.
There's a big rodeo element.
Is there?
Yeah. Dude,
but
I watched, no lie,
that doesn't have like an Aaron
seasons.
Sorkin vibe.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No. We need his dialogue.
Yeah.
We need like no one in the real world would talk that way.
Uh-huh.
We need like that kind of.
We need him to do the Adam Friedland show.
We need Sorkin, and we need to get him on mushrooms and cocaine again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could hook that up, Sorkin.
The mushrooms and cocaine?
Yeah.
All right, so let's top of the show. This week's topic, folks, it's like, I don't know, what's a cool, I thought blood and water.
Blood and water. People know what that is.
Hunter Biden is in the, you know what, you go. We got a whole thing prepared, so you can go ahead and read it.
This week, hackers from the website 4chan have leaked new pictures, videos, and messages from an iCloud account purportedly belonging to Hunter Biden. While the content itself is new, its substance is old news for anyone familiar with Hunter. Hookers, crack cocaine, his penis, questionable contact with his niece, his ass, and worst of all, a few more crumbs on the paper trail that could lead to evidence of a criminally significant level of influence peddling, potentially implicating his father's administration. And despite a media frenzy on the right, and even some apologetic attention from left-wing mainstream news, the Biden administration and family at large remain silent on the issue. And it begs the question, should they respond? Do they even have to? To what extent does the old adage, family comes first, extend? When New York Governor Cuomo was outed as a touchy Italian rapist, his brother Chris, himself now a disgraced rapist former CNN host, refused to cover the controversy in detail on his show, citing a conflict of interest. Later, we would find out that he had been more involved in his brother's defense than previously thought. And while this fraternal omerta might seem at first glance like some kind of Goomba cosplay as mafia types, even Tucker Carlson, the Cuomo brothers' #1 enemy, acknowledged that family does indeed come first. And it speaks to Chris's moral character that he put everything on the line to protect his older, womanly, frail brother. But when it comes to protecting family, how far is too far? Is there even such a thing as too far? Is it troubling and It is a troubling and fascinating question, sorry. And let me remind you, for me, it's just a passing, disinterested hypothetical.
Hold on, wait, let's restart the...
Yeah, get the music back.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, get the music back.
I don't know why.
Oh, this is pretty good. No,
but this is a commercial for Marco Polo.
No, I think this song is fine.
Well, then let's pull up the Austin Powers theme.
Yeah, let's just get that going. What's the name of it? It probably has a name.
I think it's just the Austin Powers theme by Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones made that?
He sure did.
God damn it. The man is an institution. All right, this is it?
Yes, sir.
And let me remind you, for me, this isn't just a passing, disinterested hypothetical. As a celebrity talk show host and political commentator with a responsibility to the public, I have to embrace honesty and integrity as first principles. But I myself have a mentally retarded cousin. I often wonder to what degree I have to answer for him. Not just in line at McDonald's when he touches a woman, but publicly, here, on the show. He's a liability, but I do love him. What happens when he smashes another frog with a crowbar?
Work with me, people. All right. Show me love. Great, baby. Yeah. Opie, hey.
What if there's video? And to be quite honest, my first instinct is to say he's my cousin, and it's nobody's goddamn business what he does with his penis, regardless of how big it is. And I can't help but look at Hunter Biden, smoking crack nude in a sensory deprivation tank, and see something of my poor mentally challenged cousin in him. And I see myself in the tired eyes of the president as he dodges yet another question about his troubled son. Today, on the Adam Friedland Show, loyalty or corruption? When it comes to family and public responsibility, which comes first?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Adam Friedland Show monologue. And then we go right into the monologue.
And then we go to the jokes.
Yeah. I think let's give this a little bit more.
Let's let this rock a little bit more.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. That was perfect.
You like that?
Yeah.
I
So
had
I guess
couple flubs.
No, you did great. And
Beyonce was a dream. She was the loveliest person in the world, and just knocked it out of the park.
Why is he talking about her like she's dead?
Who's that?
It's Mike Myers.
Beyonce was a dream. Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
was in Gold Member, of course.
Yeah, she's in the Spy Who Fucked My Fat Black Titties.
Yeah, it's true. That
was-
scene was quite
A
graphic.
lot of people don't know that that's what they called it in Belgium because the rest of the movie was racist.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
called
because the Gold
Austin
Member.
Powers in the Black Bitch.
Dude, they hated it. It was like the
Yeah.
Muhammad
Well,
cartoon.
They edited out all of Gold
Member.
Gold Member, and
Yeah.
they put Love Guru in.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
which is only
they
racist
did.
to Indians.
Yeah, which they love being racist to brown people in Belgium.
Oh my God, of course. Yeah. After what they did,
hmm
I don't know what they did, but
The Belgian Congo.
oh, of course.
That's a type of
Yeah.
brown people.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the POC thing. As a guy that wants to
The
be an
POC
ally, I'm
thing?
an ally.
Yeah.
But I got limited time. If I had to remember all the bad shit
You're
that happened
busy.
to black people
Yeah.
and Indian people, brother.
Yeah,
I mean, I got a lunch with
Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Golda Meir at 3 p.m. I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I got a business lunch with Ariel Sharon. I can't.
Yes. The
You know-
butcher of Sabra and Shatila.
Yeah, so when you just say POC, it's like, oh yeah, just put whoop. Well, you kind of put them all, you kind of round them all up and put them in a little boxcar.
That's why-
and send them off to I Feel Bad for You Island.
Exactly. That's why, Nick, I don't want to flex on you, but you have to impart something I call the Atom System, which is one fact about everything.
Yeah.
Right? So if someone says Belgian Congo,
Mm.
I say King Leopold.
Yes.
That's all I know, but it
Yeah.
sounds like I know something.
King Leopold, very similar to the king from the comment section.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
king. The king.
They're very similar type of king.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
And that they
anyways.
both want to rape the Congo.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
I saw this the other day.
What's that?
I'll tell you. Maybe I'll tell you later.
But
I don't know if this
they
is-
heard you like...
I went outside. I saw a black guy playing a bongo outside,
Okay.
and it's like I don't know if I would be doing that.
I don't... Why, Nick?
I don't know. I'm
It's
just
an
saying.
instrument.
Okay. All right.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of instruments.
Latin people play bongos.
I don't think he was Latin.
Have you listened to Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine?
I think
they
after
have plenty
I
of
think
hand-based drumming.
after they released the GameCube accessory that was a pair of bongos that Donkey Kong plays,
Yes.
I think that was the sunset of bongos. Anyways,
You know, if
let's go to the monologue.
If you ran the world, perhaps. But you know what? We're
Yeah.
just guys.
That's the Nas song. If I ruled the world,
Yeah.
you'd be able to play bongos outside.
All right. And then can we get some beeps for the news?
All right, so that's the meanwhile, while we've been doing all the serious stuff at the beginning,
Yes.
the warm-up comic will have worked with the audience.
Yeah. We're going to have
Tom
Tom.
Takar.
Tom Thakar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll take the gig.
I was gonna
he's a
say
great comic.
I was going to say a different Tom, but
Yeah. I mean, that would be a dream.
yeah,
We got to make peace.
I don't know if we could get it. I know.
If we got him on the show, it'd be must-see TV.
Yeah,
It would be incredible.
it would be great.
We'd be so nice. Can we get Louis J. Gomez to broker peace?
Louis J.C.K.
Louis J.C.K.
Yeah,
If Louis could, because he got him on the Real Last podcast. I remember.
Louis Juicy Couture. Maybe we'll get that on. Maybe we'll convince Louis to put on some pumps and fishnets, and from the waist down he can be a prostitute.
Right.
And
then just the black T-shirt up top.
Yeah.
Which that's how you know he means business.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the new Louis.
The new Louis.
He should have come out of like.
He's like a slut from the
if,
waist.
if people were like, "Oh, great, Louis is trying to come back," and then there was clips of him going on stage, and he's just awkwardly, high heels, just red high heels.
He can't really walk in them
fishnet
too,
stockings, just like a prostitute's thong, and then black T-shirt from up top. Never addresses it. Cancellation done. There's no chance. Maybe I'll produce that, the Louis C.K. comeback tour.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, monologue jokes. And the warm-up comic, he crushes. And he's like, okay, folks, are you ready for your host of the show? Because they haven't seen the top part. The top part's serious.
I don't want to detract from the news, but I'm just thinking right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have to name a number
Yeah.
that Tom can't say no
6
to.
million.
We don't have that much money.
Oh, I thought you just said name a number.
No, we
I
have to be
didn't
like
realize the
Tom.
money. Yeah.
Tom, $20,000.
You know he's already declined. Somebody offered him like $10 million to do.
They didn't have $10 million.
I know.
It has to be a reasonable
But
amount.
Tom
of
doesn't know that. I guarantee you he does not know
Tom
that.
was like, some oligarch actually offered me $10 million.
He genuinely, yes, he genuinely turned down. I mean, this is a guy that'll drive to Indiana for $20, but he turned down doing.
We have to get him.
Yeah,
We have to get him, and we'll be nice. We'll be so nice.
let's
We love him.
Let's hit the monologue jokes.
All right.
and then I'll get one of the PAs to drive to his parents' house and knock on the door.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. One of the unpaid interns. Okay,
Mhm.
and now the news, folks. President Biden recently returned from a trip to Israel and Palestine, or as he calls it, Itchy and Scratchy Stan. You want to do that? Yeah. The 6-day trip to the Middle East began.
Sorry, with that one, just a quick feedback. I would try to marry Israel and Palestine and Itchy and Scratchy Stan so tonally they sound the same.
Yeah.
President Biden recently returned from a trip to Israel and Palestine, or as he referred to it, Itchy and Scratchy Stan.
Yeah, that's better. That's why you're the king, man.
Huh?
That's why you're the kingmaker, man. That's
Yeah.
why you're the game master.
You should have seen Kimmel before I got my hands on him.
I know.
He would
was
come
a
out-
fucking joke.
That guy would walk out on stage, both shoes on the wrong foot,
What a fucking idiot.
and he'd be like, "Women, dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Women, dumb bitch."
You
And I was
taught
like,
him how to do the business.
I was like, Jimmy, this isn't the Man with Down Syndrome show anymore. That was the name of the show in Belgium. They couldn't
With
really.
the man show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they don't have gender in Belgium.
It's true.
So they're like, what is that, man?
Yeah.
You know,
They only have mentally handicapped.
they have,
meds-
they have
and then
retarded people and normal people.
people. Those are the
Women
two
over there are
genders.
called retarded people.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It must get so confusing when a guy has a mental handicap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that
They treat them as women.
they go cuckoo for clocks over there when that happens.
All right. The president went to Saudi. Oh, no, I skipped one. The 6-day trip of the Middle East began in Israel, where Biden promised the Israeli people that the Holocaust is the only thing he will never forget.
Sorry, are you getting a phone call?
Jamel called me, but I
Oh.
rejected it. Oh, I'm sorry. The president then went to Saudi Arabia and appealed to the Saudi leaders to increase oil production, explaining that as an Irish person, he has a lot in common with the Saudis. After all, both nations harbor partisan terrorists, engage in oppressive misogyny, and have a dumb outfit that looks like it belongs on a cereal box.
Okay, we're crushing the monologue today, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Ivana Trump passed away this week after falling down a flight of stairs, which are the only steps that Trump has ever taken to make the world a better place.
It's good that she's dead. I think that's like
You think that?
I think. Well, I'm saying that we'll like
As mainstream liberals.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay for us to take that
Yeah.
take.
We're like, yeah.
Say, hey, I would have pushed her my damn self.
It sounds
down
like
the
she
stairs.
fucked around,
Yeah.
and then she found
And
out.
said, where were these stairs? Where were these stairs in 2016?
I wish. They had an
Yeah.
escalator.
Yeah.
That's Trump was smart.
You know who we need to we need to have basically a big public ticker tape parade for Major the German Shepherd that fucks Joe Biden and the
Yeah.
stairs that killed Ivana Trump.
It's true.
Yeah, we'll have a big
America's prince and princess.
parade. Yeah,
The dog and the stairs.
the dog and the steps, and we could put them in the back of a limousine driven by I don't know, one of these fucking lib freaks.
Yeah.
You know, George Takei, he can drive the limousine.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Look out, everybody.
We're going at warp speed.
Yeah, I'm trying my best." And it was the greatest tragedy.
It's an absolute tragedy.
Yeah, since hundreds killed in a 5-mile-per-hour collision.
Slowly
Yeah,
running
yeah.
people over.
I'm doing my best to drive. I'm trying as hard as I can. In Belgium, they would call him a woman.
Oh, because
Yeah.
he's a
retard.
All right.
Yeah. Ivana Trump passed away this week after falling down a flight of stairs, which are the only steps that Trump has ever taken to make the world a better place.
That's great, dude. I love the smugness in your read just now.
Oh, Ivana Trump's dead?
Uh-huh.
Excuse me while I stand over here I'm crying, but I'm going to do it over here where no one can see.
Wait, hold on one second.
Go
Can
ahead.
I ask you something off mic?
Yes. Huh? Yeah.
Okay, sorry. We should have prepared this before, but
You edit 0?
yeah, 0's fine.
Are you sure that's the song and not the...
No. You know what it's from. You know.
I know, but are you sure that's the song you want and not a different...
What do you mean different?
Are you sure you don't want Candle in the Wind?
No, because of the RBG.
What?
The RBG video.
A what?
When he finds out RBG is dead, Tiny Dancer is playing.
It's not Tiny Dancers from the RBG video. It's Candle in the Wind, isn't it?
It's Tiny Dancer.
It's Tiny Dancer.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. All right, now you know what we're talking about.
All right. Well,
Sorry for being unprofessional.
Do you want the version from the Almost Famous soundtrack?
That might be them singing on the plane, which I think is...
Let's play it first.
We want just Elton John.
Mm-hmm.
When asked for comment, the former president said...
Wait, hold on. Is that the next line? I think there's a joke missing in here.
No, that's the next line.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
When asked for comment, the former president said, "She's dead? Wow. I didn't know that. You're just telling me that for the first time. I'm actually sad to hear that. I'm actually sad. She led an amazing life. She pulled a Sleepy Joe. You've seen it. We've all seen it. This guy can't walk up a flight of stairs if his life depended on it. At least Ivana tried. She tried. I told her not to. I said you're going to end up like Sleepy Joe. Terrible. Terrible news."
Ballerina, you must have seen her. Penis and her balls. There's a ballerina.
Tiny?
Yeah.
Did we Hold Me Closer, Tiny Penis? We did on the old one.
On the old show. Yeah. Okay, so
that was kind of
sure
admittedly maybe a little mid, but yeah.
Candle in the Wind.
It was just pull up the original. Pull up Trump RBG. It's one of the best moments of American culture in the last 25 years.
Yeah, I remember it. Wow, she lived an amazing life.
Whether you agree with her or not, I'm actually sad. I'm actually sad.
I'm just finding this out now.
I'm just finding this out. Yeah, put it on. I got to get a better Trump going.
I don't want to
video.
I don't know if we have copyright. We can get clearance on that.
On the Trump?
Yeah.
No, you could play it. That's just something that happened.
Yeah. Blue jean penis.
Moonstone bath mat help prevent slips.
Do you hate stepping out of the shower into a puddle of filthy bacteria?
Oh, Jesus. The woman they got for this commercial has disgusting feet. What the hell are they doing?
I don't know.
They need a better... Oh, so Tiny Dancer was just playing somewhere.
He was walking off stage at a rally, and he had Tiny Dancer as one of the songs.
Oh, I thought somebody added that on.
No.
Yeah.
That's what makes it truly a beautiful.
Yeah,
moment.
he comes up and he's got his finger behind his ear. Yeah.
Yeah. Play.
Yeah.
It's so good.
She just died? Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time. She led an amazing life. What else can you say? She was an amazing woman. Whether you agreed or not, she was an amazing woman who led.
It's weird. I haven't seen the C-SPAN video. I was always under the impression that somebody just added it.
No.
That's why I thought it was Candle in the Wind.
It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
It was a truly once-in-a-lifetime beautiful moment. And he's a beautiful
Just
man.
the way he prepares himself. Just pulls his hand back. She led an amazing life.
When he said that he's actually sad. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm actually sad.
Don't see. Look, the problem with this is we're gonna just be BTFO'd by Trump on our own show if you play that clip.
Yeah, because he's too funny.
We don't want people catching wind of the fact that this show is dog shit and it's not funny. we can't play good content like that. Okay, back to the monologue. Sorry.
Mhm. Baby One More Time singer Britney Spears took to Instagram this week to say she'd rather hang out with homeless people than people in Hollywood. When asked for comment, one homeless man said, "If she wants to hang out with us, she's going to have to suck dick and eat ass like the rest of us." That's a laugh? Or yeah, I think so. He then added, "Well, if she's going to be around, at least now we can tell people that the smell is her pussy." That's fine. We don't. The tag isn't strong enough. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
You want that?
No, I don't care. It's your show, baby.
All right. Let's go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
A TikToker who sent the city of Raleigh, North Carolina into a panic last year after a deadly zebra cobra snake escaped from his care is now asking for forgiveness. If he needs help apologizing for letting his snake loose, maybe he should ask disgraced CNN reporter Jeffrey Toobin.
Whose penis is small, by the way.
He had a small penis. Yeah, tiny.
We should make it clear we're making fun of him for masturbating.
Yes.
Snake kind of implies that he has like a big dick.
Yeah,
but
snake. It sounds like an anaconda.
he took his penis out and it was small.
Yeah, it is. An African-American soprano pulled out of the Italian opera because Verona Amphitheater staged a blackface performance. Of course, the very existence of an African-American soprano is heartbreaking news to fans of the show, so soon after Paulie's death. Canadian PM Justin Trudeau's new haircut has drawn comparison to Jim Carrey's Dumb and Dumber look, and some of his old Halloween photos draw.
I'll get.
Yeah. You got to get me. And some of his old Halloween photos have drawn comparison to Jim Crow's classic comedy, and
We'll figure it out so you can actually say the words, and I'll get better with the button. I'll get better with the button. I got you. It's sort of like a trust fall.
Yeah, it's scary.
I've been doing that with the new hires.
You make them say it.
Yeah, all the set builders, I've been doing it. I'm like, I get them on camera, and I say, you got to say it, and I'll beep you.
Yeah.
And that's how we know we can work together.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's the only way you can trust them.
Yeah. It's like that box in Dune.
Yeah.
Or the little wooded area in Star Wars.
What wooded area?
What the fuck is Dune anyways? It's just like Canadian Star Wars.
No, it's different.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I don't want to. Yeah, it's your show.
I'll keep my politics. It's about
I'll keep my opinions.
Political revolution.
I'll keep my opinions out of the show. So
you can have your opinions. I mean, like this show is about opinions.
Yeah.
You
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's new haircut has drawn comparison to Jim Carrey's Dumb and Dumber look, and some of his old Halloween photos have drawn comparisons to Jim Crow's classic comedy and Gur.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe if something's too hot, I'll let you a pitch hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, this is a Nick one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just imagine, and then imagine a movie. Imagine a movie just called that.
Yeah. That would be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly wild.
Yeah. Just Jeff Daniels in a bathroom in blackface having diarrhea. And this guy, and fucking the girl is like, "Are you okay in there?" He's like, "Yeah, just a minute." He's like, "Lloyd, the toilet doesn't work."
Mm-hmm.
And it's just Dumb and Dumber, but they're in. They're putting on a charade.
They're putting on a charade small.
Mm-hmm.
A tourist in Greece survived 18 hours at sea by clinging to a football lost by boys on the beach. Many people are calling him a real-life castaway. Much like the actor Tom Hanks, this man is also likely a pedophile.
I think that one needs to be reworded.
Yeah, that was a little clumsy.
Yeah. Tourist in Greece survived 18 hours at sea by clinging onto a football lost by boys on the beach. Something like, it's like there's a way to do like a castaway thing.
Yeah.
Like, the whole ordeal is reminiscent of the movie Castaway.
Uh-huh.
Especially considering that, like Tom Hanks, this man is probably a notorious pedophile.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better. Listen, guys, you're going to get the punch-up on the show. These are still the test episodes.
These are still the test episodes, but I tell you what, the offer is in.
The offer is in. We're going to sign on our studio.
I had to send a lot of financial information.
We're about to spend a lot of money.
We're about to spend a lot of money.
We just bought 3 vintage French camera lenses from the Ukraine.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Likely from a man trying to buy bullets.
Don't tell. I mean, I honestly, I am.
It's true.
I am. I know. Well, he doesn't. We're giving them bullets so that they can all end up on the black market.
We're helping him out. We're doing our part.
All of those weapons, historically, that never goes well.
Listen, we bought camera lenses from the Azov battalion. Yeah.
But
they're trying to buy pork fat.
I am
kind of
serious. I don't want. I want to wow them. I want people.
Yeah.
People.
We're not gonna hype it up too much.
You guys are gonna have your fucking minds blown.
You're
gonna have to suffer through a couple more weeks of the audio stuff.
Yeah.
But
And you'll still get audio stuff too.
Yeah, that'll be the plan.
It'll be we're gonna be bisexual. We're gonna do visual and audio. So, all right, next one.
Forget the Mediterranean diet.
No, you skipped.
What? Sorry. Oh, this one I didn't. I don't think we really landed on anything.
Yeah.
So if you guys, maybe we'll just talk it out with you guys. Suicide Prevention Hotline. They've got a new number starting on July 16th. The new number, it's 988. So if you remember 911, they got 988 now.
A lot of these folks.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Jot that down.
You're going to want to remember this.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. It took, so now we're bumping up people that want to kill themselves. They get their own 3-digit number.
Well, I think it's kind of indicative of where we're at.
And then what are the other? 911, the classic, obviously.
311, bad landlord.
Yeah. 311, bad landlord. 411, movie phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to bring back what's the 411.
411 is like for a business, like you want to find a business.
Yeah.
311 is like, am I allowed to park in front of this guy's house?
Oh, 411. Oh, it's not the operator. The operator is 0.
There's one that's like call before you dig.
What's that?
There's a number that's like you got to call it before you dig a hole.
If you want a pool, you have to call the number. It's a 3-digit number.
Yeah, you have to find out. What if there's a guy that doesn't understand, and he calls the call before you dig?
Yeah, I know.
And he's like, yeah. I'm out here, I'm digging a hole, I'm about to do it. And they're like, you can't do it. And he's like, why? And they're like, because you'll hit a gas line. He's like, well, but I was going to bury my... Anyway,
my cheating wife.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's okay.
So 988. Why do they venture away from the 11? You know, I always felt that they should just take the cops off 911. 911 should just be fire and ambulance.
So what if you need cops? What if someone's being too loud at the movies?
Yeah. Then that should be a long number.
That should be
1-800.
That is a good.
1-800.
That's a good social.
Yeah, 1-800 blackface clown in honor of George Takei, who called the police on Clarence Thomas last week. You know he did that. He was at home picking up the phone. Yes, Clarence Thomas is trying to steal my car. I need the police to go. I think Clarence Thomas shoplifted from the Cinnabon at the local mall. This is George Takei's friend. George did die.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm not Chinese. I'm actually... I'm a black man myself. And I'm concerned that Clarence is... He's passing counterfeit $20 bills. Hello, police. This is George Dadai, not to be confused with homosexual Chinese actor George Takei.
George Takei.
I'm black businessman. George, what's going on?
Nothing.
Oh. Yeah, I'm calling the police on George Takei.
That's pretty good.
Maybe you want to. Maybe we could do that. That could be the sketch after the monologue.
Yeah, we could.
George Takei at home calling the police.
Yeah.
After the abortion, after the abortion ban, I've had enough of this. Pool boy, bring me my antique telephone. Pool boy,
my antique rotary phone.
Bring me my antique bathtub, bedside and bathtub use only antique rotary phone that I use to make homosexual phone calls to young men. And bringing up the police. Yes, I'd like to report a black man carrying Skittles, and he's 11 years old.
And he's wearing a hoodie.
With a toy gun, and he stole cigarillos. And what else? What else?
And it's none other than Supreme Court Justice.
It's Clarence Thomas. And I think you better go check him out.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, sure. Oh, we got one more monologue joke here. Forget the Mediterranean diet. Experts explain why a Nordic meal plan packed full of berries, trout, and dark leafy vegetables is likely the key to healthy living. While the Nordic diet is the latest fad, of course, the crown jewel of all European weight loss diets remains the Holocaust Jew diet.
Yeah, that's true. It's a
ready
good way to cut.
Yeah, get ready for summer. With a steady diet of some buttons you smuggled into the prison in your ass, and some dried-out rats.
Women all over Hollywood are doing the Holocaust Jew diet.
I love that they took sexy photos of the prisoners. You know
I don't think that those were
they were
sexy.
like, all right, let's have a fashion show.
I think that those were when they liberated the camps, and they were like, this is how bad it was.
Oh, so the GIs were like, let's take some sexy photos.
I don't think they were trying to take some.
Hey, pal, you're looking pretty sexy there. What have you been eating? Nothing? Jeez. If only my wife could look like this.
Yeah. And the Subaru guy, he's got to be loving this. That's one for you, one for us and one for them.
Fuck.
That's what Hollywood's all about, folks. So that,
jeez, pal, looking sexy. Okay, yeah. So then we go into the show, and
no. So we have a segue joke that I didn't actually include in the doc.
Oh, damn! What's the segue joke?
The segue joke is about. We mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but there's an ongoing legal dispute.
Mm-hmm.
Living La Vida Loca singer.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Let me find it. It's in the text thread. What a great song.
You ever see those suicide pods that guy makes?
What, like a place to go kill yourself?
Yeah, it's a machine you can order, and you wheel it out to the edge of a cliff or something.
Oh, and it's beautiful.
And it's just it just blasts you with nitrogen gas, so you suffocate essentially. But I guess nitrogen prevents the panic response you have when your CO2 levels are raised too much in your blood, so you just pass out and die.
It's like hitting an ice cold fatty.
Yeah, it's like
in the lot.
Right, yeah.
At the Dead show.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
It's like doing a balloon.
That's exactly what it is.
That's kind of sick, honestly.
Yeah, you just lose consciousness or whatever. But I want one of those, but they always it's like, "Oh, I want," it's some old bitch that's got ovarian cancer.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be in the woods in the Pacific Northwest looking out at Puget Sound as I no. I wanted it. I'm watching Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
You got Austin Powers on the screen in there. Just imagine dying. Mike Myers.
Damn.
You're like, fucking hell yeah, dude.
It would be so comforting.
It's 1998.
Dude,
I'm
life
dying.
is so sick.
I'm dying.
The Swedish penis enlarger bit?
Yeah.
Mad good. I swear it's not mine, baby.
Anyways, where were we? Sorry.
So, last joke.
Yeah.
Ricky Martin says, "No way, Jose."
And we're way behind schedule because we're just finishing the monologue now and we're at 50 minutes.
I think that's fine, dude.
We got to figure out a way to tighten this up so that we're done with this part of the show. Kimmel's done with his monologue in in about 45 seconds.
Yeah, because he doesn't know jokes, dude.
He has plenty of jokes.
Yeah, whatever. His jokes are gay.
You know what? Yeah, we'll pull up Kimmel from well, it's the weekend, so we can't. But he's had Anthony Anderson on all last week.
Yeah, it's true, from Blackish.
He did a hilarious bit about not getting an Emmy for Blackish.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, we were robbed.
He was robbed by white murder shows. I think that
by
was
white
the
murder shows, and they accused him of being the Blackish was #1 suspect. And I thought I was laughing. I called him up. I know the producer over there at Scold and Mirror. And I called her up and I said, what if after that, I know it's too late, the show's already filmed, and this went straight to voicemail anyways. And I said, what if it's who called the police on Blackish is George Takei?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she like it?
No,
she didn't think it was.
It went to
very
voicemail. So
funny.
she didn't
call you back.
She didn't call me back.
She's tough to get a hold
I got
of.
real drunk at a party a couple years ago, and I was just like, "You fucking, you people destroyed the world
in Hollywood."
Yeah, I was like,
"You
people,
can't do that, Nick.
It's fucking this fake fucking Holocaust."
They got Nick. They got him. They got what? Not Nick.
It was when
got,
White Claws were new. You remember?
Yeah.
And
you were having a white girl somewhere.
I had a White Claw, and I didn't know how powerful they were.
Yeah.
And
they got Mel for that, dude. You got to be careful in this town.
Well, that's kind of how I saved myself. Everyone was looking at me at the end, and I was like, Mel Gibson, anyone? I looked around the bar.
And they were like, that's rich. That is rich. That's good.
Oh, whew,
that is good.
I saved
that's
it. That's
good. Because you had us confused.
I went on a 20-minute tirade. Yeah. I stood up in the middle of the Oscars and I said, what is this? A fucking self-suck party for a bunch of bastards that fucking made up the Holocaust and destroyed the world?
Oh, Nick, you
and now you're doing your own genocide. You're doing a genocide in fucking Palestine, and you're killing these people. And then, it's just, you could hear a pin drop.
Can't talk about it.
And I look around and I go, Mel Gibson, anyone?
And then just standing ovation. They loved it.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Yeah, no, it worked out pretty well.
Billy Crystal was like, I wish I could have said that.
Yeah.
I wish I could have said that. However it talks.
Well, Billy Crystal, he came out, he was doing this whole thing that year. He's like, yeah, have you ever seen the movie? And he's like, yeah, this is me, Sammy Davis, and I'm the...
Oh, man.
And George Takei's like, it's very funny. To me, that's
funny.
Yeah. Okay. So, the monologue jokes. Did
so,
you get to
Ricky
say the
Martin... No. Ricky Martin says, no way Jose to his nephew that is accusing him of incestuous rape. The Puerto Rican denies molesting his brother's son by saying, now we've all heard of living La Vida Loca. Or, sorry, I fucked it up, dude. I should have...
It's all right. We'll take it again.
The Puerto Rican star denies molesting his brother's son, saying, now, we've all heard of living a vida that's loca. But that would be a little too loca, too far.
Flintstones 2, Living La Vida Loca.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the name of the sequel?
No, it was Viva Rock Vegas.
You're right. It was.
It
was Viva Rock. I don't know why I thought it was Flintstones 2, Living La Vida Loca. It's just Fred Flintstone. He's gay and Puerto Rican for some reason.
Yeah, you said that during the rant at the Oscars.
I did.
You're like, what about Flintstones 2?
Yeah. Oh, it's because a couple of goys make a movie that can't win any fucking awards. Where's Ricky Martin's medal?
It's true.
Suddenly, so we got a Puerto Rican guy. He tries fucking kids, and now the whole world wants to railroad him.
Yeah. It's illegal for us, but not for them.
Yeah. Right. That's for us bias.
Yeah.
That's for us bias.
Yeah. I think what's his name? Damon John sold FUBU to a Jewish guy.
Did he?
Yeah. So it was by us, technically.
Interesting.
Yeah. So technically, I should be allowed
Yeah.
to wear that. Maybe I'll wear that on the show.
I think you're allowed to wear whatever you want.
I think that's true. So anyway, that's the last joke of the monologue. And
Are you not allowed? That would be crazy if we finally got to a place where you weren't allowed to wear
a FUBU?
Yeah.
I think.
Can you imagine that?
I think we're all right.
If that was cultural appropriation, is to wear fucking FUBU?
I mean,
you think that's?
It's just a badass look. We can all agree.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy to go back in time and explain to somebody where we ended up now.
When? Like how long ago?
Like the 50s or something.
Oh no, not Nick and Adam, but we as a culture.
Society. Yeah. Imagine a bizarro freak upside down world.
Yeah.
Imagine a topsy-turvy, upside-down world wherein only black people are allowed to use the N-word. Well, it's real. In a not-so-distant and a not-so-far-away place. In a creepy future known as the Twilight Zone. Where one man, a staple in this community, a police officer, noble and proud, tries to stop a career criminal from passing a $20 counterfeit bill, and he pays the ultimate price in a place known as the Twilight Zone. You know, something like that.
Yeah, they would. I mean, it does feel like we're living in that.
In the Twilight, yeah, we are in the Twilight Zone. You can't wear FUBU anymore.
I say it all the time.
You can't wear FUBU anymore, but maybe that's good. You know, I was watching CNN today, and some bitch said, as an ally of the... She said, I consider myself an ally of the LGBT community.
Yeah.
But even I don't really understand what the point is in saying pregnant people.
She said that.
Yeah. So even CNN now, they're kind of...
They're part of the woke...
They're it's
they're
too
not,
far.
I mean, the woke mob is going to come for them.
It's too far for them, you know? So, okay, so we need to get into the show here, because we are way behind schedule.
I mean, it's fine. We can just blast through it, you know?
We blast through. So then we'll go to the desk and talk Chinese Guillermo a bit. We go to the we go to the desk, and
I forgot about it.
Yeah, so you walk to the desk, and I figured we'll do an Ellen thing where after you do the monologue,
I do a dance.
So you're like, Ricky Martin's a faggot, huh? And then then we got you like,
yeah, and I'm dancing.
Yeah,
I need to get lessons.
Yeah,
I need to get dancing.
No,
lessons.
Dancing. We're doing an Ellen style where you're bad at dancing. You're just some like. You're a billionaire lesbian that's decked out in Kohl's gear.
Maybe that's my aesthetic for the show.
Yeah.
I wear a lesbian power suit.
I think you should just get like rhinestone-studded Ellen clothes.
That'd be badass.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
So you make it all your way over to the chair.
Yeah,
and then
all the big old girls in the audience, they're all clapping along.
Yeah, and then we got a sketch we're doing, which we'll just cut right to the sketch. We'll introduce it, and so let me see if I can get this going. I'm here reporting live at a local hospital where doctors are concerned that a new COVID symptom has been discovered.
Yeah.
And then we go into one of the rooms, and there's an elderly black man in the bed hooked up to machines.
Yeah.
And he's crying.
Yeah.
And they're like, we spoke with one man who's displaying horrified. What the doctors?
Symptoms,
the doctors are saying, and they're like, he came in last night, and he's not doing well.
Okay.
And we suspect it's one of the new COVID variants. And they're like, can you tell us a bit about what you're feeling? He's like, man, I can't stop thinking about pussy. I just can't stop thinking about pussy. And they're like,
pretty good.
They're saying that he can't stop thinking about pussy. And it's a horrifying new symptom of the Omicron.
The mutation, yeah.
Yeah. The Omicron Delta 88, the Oldsmobile Delta 88 variant.
Yes.
Of the
Omicron
variant. Let's go back to the only punchline in this sketch.
Yeah.
Real quick. I can't stop thinking about pussy.
And then the audience is losing.
I can't.
Yeah.
I just want to go home and see my family.
Yeah.
And maybe get a little bit of pussy. We need 50 cc's of pussy in this room, stat.
That'd be pretty good.
And he's got an IV drip going.
Yeah, and it's got pussy.
Yeah, into his penis, and then. Right.
Hush not, child.
And then
you're still dancing.
Yeah.
Back,
dancing.
and then we're doing a desk piece.
Okay.
And so the desk piece is like, you know how like Conan used to just sit there and he would have like, he would go through like local like news, like kind of clippings,
like typos in the news.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that was Leno. I think Leno would do.
Would do typos in the news, but Conan would have fun. One of the funniest things I ever saw in my life. They had one. They would just go through advertisements in like newspapers, but I mean they were all fake. But there was one for reading glasses, and it just said, "Impress your friends by pretending you know how to read."
That's pretty good.
And yeah, when I was a young boy, and
that really hit.
That one hit hard.
That really hit.
Yeah, something about somebody like people pretending they know how to read.
That's pretty funny.
That always made me laugh.
Yeah. Jay was great.
It was a huge influence on my comedy now.
People really, it became cool to shit on Jay.
My comedy now, which is just racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw him belittling the illiterate, and you're like, who else?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Okay,
so we do that.
Yeah. So, and then we do the desk piece. And the desk piece, I initially wanted to do, and I kind of put it out on Twitter to gauge people's feelings. We do
what they say.
Examples of shrinkflation, because I don't know if you've seen that. That's the thing that happens.
What is it? Your penis got smaller? Sorry, that's the old show.
Yeah, I'm having heartburn here, but no.
Okay.
The shrinkflation. So inflation is. I think maybe we'll do the next episode when we talk about inflation.
Okay.
Maybe inflation will be the topic. The economy.
That's a good one.
What the fuck is?
We have to talk about that.
We got to talk about the economy. Shrinkflation is where things become more expensive, but then they also make the it's like a bag of chips.
Yeah.
So it's like we would have like here's some examples, and we open a bag of chips, and there's just an IOU from Lizzo. And
that's pretty good. Yeah, because she ate all the chips.
She ate all the chips.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, she's a big fatso.
Yeah.
Like a Swedish fish, and there's just like IKEA hardware in the bag.
Yeah.
You know?
Like those wooden dowels like that break immediately.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
People love IKEA. They love
IKEA.
People
jokes.
love IKEA.
They
stuff.
really do. Yeah.
If basically any monologue. Look, this guy hanged himself. Basically any.
What are you watching?
Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh, badass.
Yeah. Any joke you can always just bail into, like, where the hell do they get this thing? IKEA?
That's good. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we do that.
Well, I wanted to do that, but for the desk piece this week, I was going to say we could do, because the topic is
families, is blood thicker than water, so we talk about Hunter.
Well, you say a lot of people think Hunter Biden might be the worst relative.
Yeah.
But there's actually a lot of presidential relatives. That everybody remembers Billy Beer, Jimmy Carter's.
Billy Carter,
Billy Carter.
Very sad
famous
story.
Drunken retard Billy Carter, who, if crack were around today, or back then, I'm sure Billy Carter would have been smoking it.
Of course
I'm sure Billy Carter would have been illegally obtaining a gun and taking pictures of himself naked in bed with his 11-year-old niece, and there would be screen caps of him texting her.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. But there's actually way more. President William Howard Taft.
Yeah.
A lot of people remember him for being a big, fat, funny fatso.
Yeah, big old fatso with the bathtub. Yeah.
But he actually had a brother who was emaciated.
Oh, he had a skinny brother.
He had a skinny little gay weenie brother.
A little twink.
Bintus Dundaloo Taft.
That's going to get a big laugh.
Yeah. And we got a picture of him here, and we Photoshop William Howard Taft small. But small, and be like, his brother.
We just stretch him. Yeah. That's funny.
Who back then did the only drug available, which was bull semen. That was the only thing you could get high off was fermented bull semen.
That's good.
And you had to go, get it yourself from a farm.
Right.
And I was going to write these out. I was going to spend time thinking about it.
Yeah, but listen, we're giving people a preview of what the show is going to be. So it's not like
Tsar Nicholas II.
Yeah.
You remember him? He was the one famously dragged out and killed.
Yeah, during the Bolshevik Revolution.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. You know?
Dude, that's so embarrassing.
But he had a brother-in-law who's a skinny little weaselly kind of gay guy.
Yeah.
We Photoshop it skinny. And and we call him a homo.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know?
Because the Romanovs, they've got it coming.
Yeah.
People love it when royals get knocked down a peg, you know?
It sounded like they were roaming off of their lane.
Yeah, that's true.
They needed to stay in their lane. And they didn't. More dancing. We'll have more dancing there at that point. Who are some other funny presidents' brothers?
Well, Clinton had a drunk brother, too.
Did he? Sam Kinison.
It was, yeah.
Sam Kinison was Eskimo brothers with Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that, but there's a famous story of the two of them basically like drugging and raping a 14 or 15-year-old girl together in Arkansas back when he was just governor.
Well, that's he got his start, kind of.
Yeah, and Kinison knew about it, and that's why Kinison was killed.
Yeah.
Who was also Bill Clinton's brother.
Yeah. Clinton body count.
Yeah.
Yeah, that...
Here you go. Here's a ranker.com. 10 presidential siblings who embarrass POTUS. So, Orville Lynch Grant. I guess that was Ulysses S. Grant's...
Okay.
Yeah. He's the corrupt younger brother of President Ulysses S. Grant. Was rumored to have been a pretty shady guy who's always looking to make a quick buck. And get this, he was an emaciated, skinny little weasel guy. You're on your phone again? You got something going on?
It's for the show. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Malik Obama. Malik Obama's great.
No, he's not embarrassing at all.
Yeah. I love that he's like... He's basically as African as you can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the MAGA hat.
I love wearing a hat. He just loves it because it's a hat. That's just like he could not be...
Yeah, it's the sun.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
You could not be more African. Neil Bush, Billy Carter. We already got him. Billy Carter really had such an amazing look.
Oh, yeah.
Like Austin Powers, basically.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know. I'm not going to... I forget what the... Hold on. Yeah, he died from alcoholism?
Yeah, he launched his own beer and then killed himself.
That's so badass.
Sam Houston Johnson, Randolph Jefferson, F. Donald Nixon. What a stupid name. My name's F. Donald Nixon. My brother's the president.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Look at this faggot. I was born in 1914. What a gay year to be born.
Yeah. Pathetic.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
Wait, who's Clinton's brother, though?
Billy Clinton Jr.
Billy, yeah.
Charles Adams. This is the kind of shit I like. Look at this. Like the guy to be an embarrassing guy, but you've got a powdered wig.
Yeah, you're still
like in those days, you'd be like a buckle and powdered wig guy.
Yeah, you're still like a foppish dandy.
Right. You're like, I think I'm going to go down to the farm and fuck a sheep.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I've fancied a queerness to my affect in a way that has humiliated my brother, who dedicated himself to the polity.
There he goes again.
He's dedicated his life to public service, whereas I am but a jester of the pubs. I've gone and embarrassed my brother again by sodomizing yet another sheep during the witching hour. All of our sisters have been killed. I blamed it on them and said they've put a curse. Said they put a hexen curse.
A pox on our home.
A pox on our home that caused me to make the beast with two backs of the town sheep. Yet again in the town square after I've had just a thimble too many of the divine spirits. Brother of John Quincy, Charles Adams, was a victim of alcoholism. Charles, the child of Abigail, and John Adams was described as somewhat self-destructive. He was not abandoned as previously been portrayed by the media, but when he was sent overseas at the age of 9 with his father, he panicked the prospect of leaving his mother and reportedly remained homesick for months after he arrived. He was rebellious and expelled from Harvard. Don't you become a heavy drinker? Yeah. In the 1799, John Adams renounced Charles, calling him a mere rake, buck, blood, and beast.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah. William Johnson, that's Andrew Johnson's brother. Anyways, so yeah, we could have gone
that
through
would have, yeah, that would have really killed.
We could have gone through that, and that would have been fun. These are the kind of things where, as soon as we got that studio, and once my touring dries up and I got a little bit more time, you know, to, I'm telling you, once we get that studio, I don't give a fuck how much money we lose. We got
Honestly, it's fun.
We got a studio, a little production office.
Yeah,
it's way more. Look, when you start making money, you blow it on PlayStation or like tracksuits,
sneakers, yeah,
or dumb jewelry,
Jordans,
or replacement tooth, or like just dumb shit. They're dumb things, and then you're like, no, I got to blow it on project. That's all Hollywood is.
We are going to spend all of our money on this.
I can't wait.
And we are potentially going to alienate our audience.
Yeah, I would love it.
It could be a massive failure.
It's going to be funny to me. It's going to make me laugh.
Honestly, it's kind of beautiful.
Mm.
There's a rise, and there deserves to be a fall.
Yeah.
This is the second half of Boogie Nights after Cocaine.
Oh, I had this sketch idea where one of the Property brothers is gay, and the other covers for him by being gay also, even though he's straight. Because that's on the topic of, like, you know, how far do you go for family?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see how that fits in.
Yeah. So if it turns out that only Jonathan Scott is a homo,
right?
The other one's like, I guess I'll pretend too.
Yeah.
So that, you know, all right. So then we have guests.
Of love.
With guests on. So the first guest obviously is going to be your retarded cousin.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll bring him out.
We'll figure that out. We'll get the.
I'll pretend it. Coming to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Adam's retarded cousin. Hello.
Yes. Hi. No, I don't. We don't have to.
It's good to see you again.
It's exploitive, and I kind of want to keep my personal life out of the show at this point. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Nick.
Oh.
You're just bringing this poor guy up on stage.
Okay. No, say no more.
It was pretty funny, though, when he said to me that the BLM riots were happening outside his apartment. I said, "Did you look at it through your window?" And he said, "No, he was watching on TV."
Mm-hmm.
He didn't look out the window.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, because he's
retarded.
No, he's not. He's just odd.
Oh, okay.
He's just odd.
He's just an embarrassment.
He's not an embarrassment. He's a nice guy.
Oh, well, I thought that's what gave this episode a personal flair.
Yeah,
is that he's constantly humiliating you.
Okay, from the opening monologue, yeah, I see what we're saying. Yeah, so it's a character, my retarded cousin. Not
sure,
my weird cousin.
Yeah, I guess we could. Okay, well, we'll scrap that guess. Maybe we can have on Ricky Martin's nephew.
Yes,
who is embarrassing him by
accusing him
of rape, of incestual molestation.
Yeah.
Who is sort of, that's the Hunter Biden of the Ricky Martin La Famiglia.
Yeah.
The Famiglia.
And then we have, bring him out on stage, and then dun 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 dun. Everyone's going crazy.
Yeah.
He's hamming it up for the audience. He's doing like a bow.
Yeah.
And then he does a curtsy. Everyone starts laughing.
And we'll say, Eduardo, would you say that Ricky Martin went to Viva Rock Vegas in your asshole? Did he do a number Viva Rock Vegas?
And then he's like, yes, that's very funny.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. Ricky Martin is in a homosexual relationship with his own nephew, and it's not a problem until he hits him. Prior to the hitting, this was fine.
Everyone else in the family is saying that this nephew has mental problems, and he's
next week the show topic is going to be mental illness.
Yeah, it's true.
Does being mentally ill preclude you from producing one of the greatest talk shows of all time?
That's a good question, actually.
And we're going to have Ricky Martin's nephew on to discuss his mental illness. And is it possible to be both mentally ill and the victim?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because it's one or the other. It's either Ricky Martin molested this kid and beat him up, or he's crazy. It definitely can't be both.
It's nice that they left. Going back to the presidential siblings thing, the Kennedy sister that they had lobotomized and put away, Rosemary.
Well, I was going to say we should have Rosemary Clooney on.
Who's that?
It's George Clooney's aunt.
What's her vibe like?
She was just a drunk. She was a singer, and she sang Mambo Italiano.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's her cover of Mambo Italiano.
I had no idea.
Rosemary Clooney. Clooney, Mambo Italiano. Yeah. We'll have her on for our musical guest tonight on the Adam Friedland Show, Rosemary Clooney, during her classic.
Small-chested women like this.
Small. Why am I getting targeted ads for small titties?
Honestly, now that we have the show, you have to pay $10 so you don't get the ads.
A girl went back to Napoli because she missed the scenery, the native dances, and the charming song.
Anyways, we all know the song.
Yeah. So you're saying that was an Irish woman?
Well, it's not her song. Back in the day, there would be like one Jewish guy in 1870 that wrote every popular song.
That's true. Irving Berlin.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. They wrote all the Christmas songs.
They wrote every song.
They wrote every song.
It was like three Jewish guys in like the industrial age.
That's how we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, how about there's one where it's the twisting and the shouting?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
How about the colored guy who's twisting and shouting?
How about the Mambo Italiano?
It's a Mambo Italiano. That's one of the songs.
They're like, what does that mean? It's like, it doesn't matter. These pigs will.
How about we do another song where,
the pigs, they'll listen to anything.
We'll
I'm a fucking institution.
We'll write the same song over and over again. So we'll have Rosemary Clooney on because she was, I think she was a bit of a boozer.
Okay.
And she humiliated herself many times.
Oh, okay. And then we segue to the end of the show, our final thought.
The final thought, yeah.
Yeah.
And so this episode, maybe not particularly funny, but we got the format.
Listen, this is what people are excited about.
Yeah,
is like seeing a structure come together.
I was also saying maybe we could have Don Swayze on, but I don't know if he's embarrassing so much as he's just kind of a loser.
Who is he?
He's Patrick Swayze's brother.
He's famous for being a loser?
I don't think he's famous for being a loser. He just is. I mean, he was in movies. He's just known as being Don Swayze's brother, or Patrick Swayze's brother.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah,
I like his look, honestly.
Yeah, he looks like a guy doing a Patrick Swayze impression.
Yeah, he looks like there's one guy that works that one guy that works at Caroline's. He kind of looks like him.
Which guy that works at Caroline's?
I don't know. He's like around. He's like I don't know if he works at Caroline's.
What do you mean
he was there that weekend. He's like an older gentleman that looks a lot like Don Swayze. To be
Eric?
Honest. Is that his name?
He looks like nothing like Don Swayze.
Maybe I'm confusing him.
Yeah, he doesn't look like anything like Don Swayze. Anyways, yeah, so we got that figured out, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
The final thought, and that's this is your time to shine. This is where we go in completely unscripted. And so we've had guests on.
I speak to camera.
And this is where, we have to imagine that if we had done this for real, your retarded cousin would have come on. And you guys would have had...
I would have felt bad, but
I
would have had to do it for the audience.
He would have tried to touch Rosemary Clooney's pussy from the couch. Weird. He's like, I done my one time.
No, he doesn't talk like that. It's more of a Jewish, like Kyle's cousin.
And they might want it.
It's more like that.
And they might want to touch Rosemary Clooney's pussy.
Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos, Rosemary. Did you ever meet the guy that wrote Mambo Italiano?
Are you coughing? Yeah.
God, even just doing that voice makes me feel like I'm in a fucking gas chamber.
Imagine his life.
Oh boy!
Imagine his life.
What is that character? It's Kyle's cousin.
Yeah.
He's
more of a Kyle's cousin.
Yeah. Kyle Schwartz.
He's too Jewish to function in normal society.
I forgot how funny that character.
It's a very funny show.
Oh boy! He's Kyle's cousin from Connecticut.
So the final thought. I speak directly to camera. It's kind of a.
How is it that flat screens are sold on back market in 1951?
All right, you come up with the final thought. I'm just going to sit here and watch South Park. What? I got to watch 2 fucking goddamn ads now?
You got to pay the $10, dude.
Hey, dude. What's that thing? Cartman, I need to talk to you. Hello, I'm Kyle's cousin Kyle. Cartman, I'm going to make you a deal. What? That kid over there is my cousin from the East Coast. He's having a really hard time right now, so I'm going to offer you $40 to not rip on him. $40? But you can't make fun of him at all. No smart-ass comments, nothing. All right. And you especially can't say anything about Jews. Oh, Jesus, why'd you just cut off my balls? Cartman, no Jew jokes. All you have to do is keep your mouth shut, and you've got $40. Can you do it?
You can go ahead and do the final
Believe
thought.
how cold it
But
is.
I don't know. Yeah.
Could be tough.
I kind of want to listen to this. It's a good show.
It's a real dry cold. That's the problem. It's the cold air makes me wheeze. Kyle, this is Cartman. He's my sort of friend-ish. Nice to meet you, Cartman.
That's me,
I
dude.
saw that same jacket you're wearing at Bosco's for $29.95. How much was yours? I
Yeah,
just wondering
my
if
cousin
Bosco's
does
is a
that.
rip-off.
He literally does that.
Oh, man.
He
Cartman,
talks about
it's nice to
rip-offs
meet you,
and
Kyle.
sales. He texts me when there's sales going on. Literally.
We got to get him on the show,
No,
dude.
dude,
Could you imagine if you had your... This is what the show would have been, dude. This is your Hunter Biden.
I know.
This is
But I want to protect
your...
him. I need to protect
I
this
know,
guy.
but that's what I mean. That's the essence of the show.
I don't know if I've said this on the show. I've definitely said it at Funny Moms. But
Yeah.
he used
In
to,
the same way that Hunter
used to
Biden
get
is
kicked
addicted
out-
to crack and prostitutes, your cousin's addicted to being Jewish.
He used to bike to the mall and daily, and then get kicked out of the Apple store because he was following patrons around and saying that's not the right technology. And they were like, "You don't work here. You're not a genius. You certainly are not a genius.
Yeah.
You're far from a genius."
I saw that same jacket at Bosco's for $29.95.
He texted me. He's like, "Brooks Brothers is having their annual event."
Yeah, so we had him on, and then he's embarrassing you in front
I
of
literally just see him at funerals. I saw him at my mother's funeral, and then at my grandmother's funeral before that.
Yeah,
and
well, you could have him on. That would have been a perfect guest for the Hunter Biden episode.
It would have been good.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we'd have to fly him out, put him up at the Plaza Hotel.
Well, bus him out.
Be a long bus ride.
Yeah, he'd love it.
I don't know.
Be like, think about how much cheaper it is to take the bus.
I think he'd miss his parents a little.
We can bring his parents.
We should bring them.
We're doing it Ellen style.
I know, it's true.
Have him come out, teach him how to dance.
Mm-hmm. Listen, so for the final thought, we're going to wrap it up.
Let's hit it.
Family's complicated, right? You can't choose your family. You can choose your friends, right? But does that make family less important?
You certainly can't choose your family now that it's illegal to have an abortion.
Yeah, it's true. You have even less choice.
You have less choice of a family.
Yeah, it's true.
If you're a bitch, you definitely can't choose your family.
Yes. So, you can't...
Supreme Court delivered a devastating blow to bitches this week after blackface clown Clarence Thomas, after trying to slip a counterfeit $20 bill to a Walgreens employee, removed women's right to choose.
Yeah, it's true. And the police said nothing. Because the damn Black Lives Matter movement. Anyway,
if
guys.
only we could have Tamir Rice back and put Clarence Thomas in his place.
So he could have a rough ride. No, that's Freddie Gray. Family's complicated.
Thank you, everyone, for your condolences, but I did not know Shinzo Abe. We were not friends.
But I appreciate it.
I appreciate the condolences, but he was not my fascist Japanese boyfriend.
Family's complicated. You can't choose them. But you can't shake them.
I really
no matter if you don't talk to them ever again in their life,
the
you're
big
still
divide. The big divide in American culture is either you like Shinzo Abe or you like Mishima.
It's true. It's true.
You got to pick one or the other. Those are the two camps. It's not
true.
Democrat or Republican.
It's Shinzo Abe and Mishima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry, George Takei or Mishima.
Oh, George Takei or Mishima. That's more of a polar opposite.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. But they're both gay, also.
I know they're both gay. They're both different types.
But one is a fascist.
You like one type of gay little weird Japanese guy.
Yeah, that's true. You got to pick one.
Yeah.
You got to pick Stones or Beatles. Takai or Mishima.
Yeah,
you can't do both. You can't do both. You can't choose them, even if you don't talk to them ever again. They're still your family, right? But when push comes to shove, when bad things happen, they're the people you want around. You got to keep them close. And as the American family,
I tell you, push came to shove on the stairs in Ivanka Trump's house this week. Yeah,
her Upper East Side.
Ivana or Ivanka?
Ivana.
Ivanka is the daughter.
The daughter. Who I do.
And that's the thing. There's a lot of people say, "Oh, Donald Trump fucks his daughter," and it's like, well, the name is so close. Yeah,
it's confusing. Yeah,
you're coming.
That's why I'll never name my son after me.
You're coming in the Tiny Dancer's blasting. You're walking into the house. It's dark.
Yeah.
Huh? What's that?
So anyway, as the American family,
You're saying I fucked my daughter. This is news to me. Wow, this is the first time hearing it. You're saying I fucked her. That's actually sad. I'm actually sad about it.
As the American family dissolves, Americans feel less included in a community.
I'm just looking at Kyle's.
We see a rise.
Kyle's cousin.
We see a rise in many other problems like mass shootings and the decline of the amount of sex that young people are having these days. People don't feel like they're part of communities, and that's because they don't feel like they're part of families. Because, of course, family is the first community that you join. So today on the Adam Friedland Show, I want to tell our listeners to keep your family close, even if they drive you crazy, even if they fly to South Africa to see your 91-year-old grandmother, and then to get power of attorney over her bank account. Mm-hmm. You got to keep them close, because that's still your family, even if they're trying to steal whatever's left. Mm-hmm. That's a theoretical thing.
Who's this? This is the retarded guy's parents.
No, it's not. But he's not on that side of the family, and no one's actually done that in my family.
Oh,
but theoretically, were they to do that to my 91-year-old grandmother, it would be pretty hurtful to the rest.
Do you
of the
think
people
at some
on our
point
side
in
of
your
the
family history, some of them like told the German authorities where someone else was, so that they could secure like inheritance, or
did we serve as capos?
Basically, it'd be like, well, if Mort was out of the way, I mean.
The answer is that everyone that's in my family got out before, and everyone who didn't died. So if they snitched, they didn't do it that well.
Okay.
So, yeah. But everyone that I descend from escaped.
Yeah. So the final thought with this one is what?
The final thought is that the American family, as we see it, erode, as people kick their family members, kick the people that they share blood with out of their lives, the community, therefore, will crumble. And so, if to our listeners,
I guess it's
if you
like
have
ultimately, we want you to end on an opinion as to whether or not Joe Biden should have to answer for Hunter Biden being a gun-toting pedophile, crack-smoking.
Allegedly.
Well, I mean, you can check it out. You can look at the videos.
I haven't seen the videos.
They're pretty awesome.
It's not my family.
Yeah.
If it was my dad doing that, I'd look at the videos.
Yeah.
Because that's my family.
Yeah.
You got to keep it in the family. I think maybe we could play the Fast and the Furious, Paul Walker.
Yeah.
It's been a long time without you, my friend.
Yeah.
Because those films are about family.
Yeah. Your cousin's like, I live my life a quarter at a time.
That's pretty good. I think we can end on that.
I live my life a quarter at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll have to dial that in. In future episodes, maybe we should start with figuring out the final thought and where we want to land.
The final thought, we need copy for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think structurally it's coming together.
Look,
and I hope it's interesting to the people that are listening, even if they're upset at Nick for being a lib now. That's the pivot that we're taking.
Dude,
but as long as you're talking to an amateur abortionist.
This is the year of pivots.
Dude, I'm loving it.
So basically, we're going to navigate the political spectrum like a laser room in an art, museum. Yeah. We're going to just kind of weave our way, constantly turning and twisting, contorting ourselves until we get to that precious jewel right in the middle, the #1 spot on Patreon.
Yes.
For podcasts. Tim Dillon, we're coming for you.
We're coming for your large gay ass.
Large gay ass. You're done. Whatever all those true crime, whatever that true crime bullshit is,
whatever Dungeons and Dragons podcasts
we're going to steal your audience by murdering an actual woman on this show.
Yeah,
That's the big plan
and
for
that
season
is going
2.
to be must-see television.
We're going to get
podcast.
We're going to murder a woman somewhere
Uh-huh.
in the back rooms of our massive production office.
Yes.
And spend the entire series figuring out where she was killed,
Yeah.
who did it, and the exact details of her sexual demise.
Right.
At
Her
the end.
entire sexual history, everyone she's ever fucked.
Yeah.
We're going to drag her name
So
through the mud.
if you're a guy
Yeah.
and you got a woman in your life,
Yes.
and she's always hated a certain podcast of a certain name, you can tell her that there's a different one now, and it might just appeal to her because it's about rape, but not in the old way.
It's what girls love.
It's not the old kind of show about rape where we
Uh-huh.
just laugh about somebody getting raped. This time, we sort of salivate on it. We chew it.
Right. They like a true crime podcast about something that's already happened.
Women,
but what about a true crime podcast where crime transpires?
Women consume true crime rape the way like a trucker eats beef jerky.
It's the girl news.
Yeah, it's just, well, it's not the news. It's just like a big bag of like dried out, disgusting
They can't
flesh.
stop
And they
munching
just,
on
yeah,
that.
they suck on it. They just consume mindlessly, just sucking on this like sodium-rich shit that constricts their arteries.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe that's the topic for the
We're
next,
gonna get
next
women.
week is rape.
Yeah, okay.
And we'll figure it out.
Thanks a lot, folks.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.